Hi Year 10. A number of you have been asking me questions about exam week and assessments and GCSEs. So I've made this short video which I hope will answer some of your questions. I know that some of you are feeling a little bit anxious, and that's quite normal. Anxiety often comes when we don't feel in control of a situation or when we're unclear about exactly what's going to happen. So I'm hoping this video is going to help you to understand what will happen in assessment week, what your reports will look like, what GCSE grades look like, and hopefully will make you feel a little less anxious. So the questions I'm going to go through in this short presentation are: how will your assessment week be organised in Year 10? Lots of you said, are these assessments mocks? How assessments are graded at Key Stage 4? And how your teachers will report on your attainment and progress in Key Stage 4. So how will your assessment week be organised in Year 10? Most of your exams will take place in the sports hall, and the hall will have been set up with individual desks. When you come for an exam, you'll line up outside the sports hall and then you will go and sit at your desk. You'll have one desk for all your exams, so you'll always sit in the same place. You can see on this exam timetable that it starts on Monday the 23rd, and there are 3 sessions every day. So on the first day, on the Monday, history is your first exam. There are 33 of you, and the exam is 1 hour and 50 minutes long. The next will be your PE theory exam. There's 25 of you doing that, and that will be 1 hour and 45 minutes long. And next will be your session 3 will be your geography, which is 1 hour long. If you're not in one of any of those exams, you will just be in your normal lessons preparing for your exams. Some of you may well have what we call our special arrangements, and that means if you're somebody who, we know you might need somebody to help write stuff down, or you might need somebody to help you to read the questions. If you're somebody who has special arrangements, Miss Kumi or Mr. Luzio will be talking to you, and in most cases that means you won't be in the hall. You'll be sitting in a separate room with an adult to help you. You can see on the right hand side here, your art practical is the Monday that after these exams, so Monday the 30th, and that's all day. So if you do art or design, that's when your practical exam will be. You will all have, if you take French, your French oral exams, and Ms. Bunte will be organising a timetable and will let you know when your oral exam is. And those of you doing PE, you have a practical exam. Again, I'm going to meet with Mr. Jasper so we can work out exactly when they'll happen, and you will get that information. A copy of this timetable will be given to you so you can stick it in your planner, and we'll also send a copy home to your parents. So the next question I've been asked a lot are these assessments mocks? So first of all, let me just explain what the word mock means. If you mock something, if you make a mock-up, you make a copy or an imitation of something. So when we talk about mock exams, we just mean exams that are a copy or an imitation of your real GCSE or vocational exam. So pretty much every assessment you will do now will be a kind of mock, because your teachers will be using past paper questions and exam papers so that they can give you a practice of what the exam is like. It's also a practice of what the exams will feel like. So up until now, you haven't had exams in the hall. So part of what we're doing is just giving you lots of experience of sitting in the hall at an exam desk, because again, that can make you feel quite anxious if you haven't done it before. So most of your exams from now until the real thing will be in the hall. I think the reason I've been asked this question is because there was a lot in the press about the Year 11s that have just gone, and teachers using their mock to give their actual GCSE grade. In the end, that didn't happen, and it didn't happen because all the practices are so different. Different schools will choose different papers to give, different questions to give. The mocks might be easier or harder in different schools. So generally, mocks are not used. What they are used for is by your teachers to look at how you've done on that paper and to get an idea of where you're at and what your most likely grade is going to be in your final exam. So all assessments you do now, in fact even things you do in class, you could call mocks, because all of them are designed to give you the experience of GCSE questions and papers. Another question is about GCSE grading and how Key Stage 4 assessments, GCSEs and vocational qualifications are graded. The new GCSE grade scale isn't directly equivalent to the old A star to G1. Your parents probably will have had A star to G grades. But there are some comparable points between the old grades and the new. So this is a diagram to show you. In GCSE, you can get grades 9 through to 1. All of those are passes. A U means unclassified, that's a fail, but all of these grades are passes. And if you're doing a vocational qualification, you can get a distinction star, a distinction, a merit, or a pass. And you can see roughly what grades they're equivalent to. That 2 means level 2. And that's just a name we give for qualifications that are equivalent to GCSEs. So if you got a distinction star, that's the equivalent to a grade 8. A distinction is equivalent to a grade 6, a merit to a grade 4. Oh, let me go back, sorry. A merit to a grade 4 and a pass to a grade 2. The old grades that none of you will do, but your parents will have done, were from A star through to G. So an A star is probably about the same, of between an 8 and a 9. So a grade 9 is higher than the old A star, and so on. So this gives you a little indication of the grade you can get. A grade 4 or above is what is often referred to as a standard pass. That's because if you wanted to go on and do A levels or equivalent qualifications, most providers will want you to have a grade 4 or above. Certainly in English and maths, many ask for higher than that. So if I wanted to do an A level in maths, many places will say you need to have a grade 6 or even a 7. So that's a little bit about how your GCSEs or vocational courses will be graded. Okay, and the final question is how your teachers will report on your attainment in progress in Key Stage 4. So this is what your report is going to look like. You can see the top is very similar to the reports you've had in Key Stage 3. So you've still got your name and your class, your attendance and your lates, your house points and your reflection points. You've also got a grade band, which you were given in Year 9, and also your Key Stage 2 scores. Then for each subject, it looks slightly different. You still have your home and class learning attitude, but as well as that, you have something that says EST. This stands for an estimated grade. So this is the teacher's prediction of the grade you're likely to get for this qualification if you continue to work with the same amount of effort. So your teacher will use your assessment score. They'll probably think about your attitude towards your learning in both class and homework. And they'll say, well, if that stays the same and we cover more of the course, this is the grade that I think you are going to get when you sit your exam in Year 11. You've also got something called TG, and that stands for target grade. Now, the target grade is determined by your Key Stage 2 results. It's the grade that most pupils with similar Key Stage 2 results to you achieved nationally in previous years. It's externally determined, and what that means is we don't set that target, that's set for us. It's not a prediction. So if you don't do any homework and you don't focus in class and you don't prepare for your exams, you're not going to get your target grade. Likewise, if you work really hard, in class, you do all your home learning, you prepare for your assessments, you are really attentive to your work, then you might well achieve higher than your target grade. When we give you your reports, your teachers will be looking at these two grades and comparing them. So let's look at this report here. The estimated grade for English language and literature is 5+, target is 6. Well, I would feel okay with that. I'm kind of not far off my target, and I know maybe I need to do a little bit more, push myself a little bit more to get to that target, but that's of no concern to me. In maths, you can see my estimated grade is higher than my target. I've got an 8-, that means I've just hit a grade 8. My target was a 7. And I can see in both those things, my attitude to learning is exceptional, so that's probably why. My science teacher might be a little bit worried because my target is a 6, and at the moment I'm estimated a grade 4. That's a bit below my target. So my science teacher will probably be talking to me and trying to work out what it is I need to do to try and push my grade up. Right down at the bottom there, you can see my grades for my Cambridge National IT are merits, a level 2 merit. Again, I'm meeting my target, so that's nothing for me to be worried about. All of you will get an effort grade for PE, whether or not you do GCSE, so that's not your GCSE PE, that will come separately, but you'll all get an effort grade for the PE, and as always, commitment to Woody values. So I hope that has answered some of your questions. If you've got any other questions, please just catch a member of staff and ask them. And I want to finish with a couple of things. First of all, I want to say to you that we know you've been out of school for a while, last term. You have to remember that's true for every Year 10 across the country. When I walk around your lessons and walk in and out of your classes, I am always so impressed. I think you've got an advantage because I think you are such a hard working group of people. I think you are focused, I think you are attentive, and I think you've got a real desire to do your best. So I think that gives you a bit of an edge. So here's a quote that I'm leaving you with, which is, you get what you work for, not what you wish for. So it's about you getting all your home learning done, asking people, going to study club if you need to, really focusing in class, not being distracted by arguments with friends or by things going on outside school. You are in control. You are most in control of how you're doing these assessments. You're more in control than any of us. So come on Year 10, show us what you've got, and we look forward to seeing some really good assessment results at the end of this term.